This is a story I don't talk about, not because I want to forget it, but because even remembering it makes my stomach tighten. My friends and I used to go exploring abandoned places. You know, the kind of stupid, thrill-seeking teenagers do when they think they're invincible. Growing up in New Jersey, there were enough forgotten buildings, overgrown hospitals, and condemned warehouses to keep us busy. One place lingered on our list for a while, an abandoned middle school about 30 minutes away. I'm not going to name it. We'd seen pictures online. Peeling hallways, overturned desks, graffiti layered so thick you could barely see the original paint. It was the kind of place urban explorers loved, and we were bored, desperately bored, that late summer. There were 4 of us: me, Yuri, Frank, and Freddie. Frank and I were into graffiti, so we packed black and white spray cans. I also grabbed some leftover Roman candles from 4th of July because that was our routine: climb, paint, launch fireworks from whatever rooftop we conquered. This night was supposed to be like every other night. Yuri parked a few blocks away. We walked the rest of the distance under dead streetlights and quiet windows. When we reached the school, we found the fence had already been cut open. The school was huge, much bigger than the online pictures ever suggested. The kind of huge that made you feel small, like it could swallow you and no one would hear you scream. Frank went in first, then Yuri, then me, and Freddie behind. Freddie always took the rear because he liked pretending he wasn't scared. We found an unlocked side door and stepped inside. The moment the door shut behind us, it felt wrong. Not just eerie. Wrong. You know that heavy silence old buildings get? The kind where air feels thick and cold, like the building is holding its breath. That's what this was: suffocating silence. Our flashlights were strong, unnaturally strong. We used to brag about their brightness, but even those beams felt like they were being swallowed. The hallways absorbed light instead of reflecting it. The walls were covered in graffiti, layers upon layers of tags, symbols, names, strange shapes. Some of it was good art, most was trash, but there were pieces, long, dark strokes that looked like someone did them angry. We made our way through the auditorium first. Seats collapsed in heaps, curtains rotted, the stage sagged like something heavy had stood on it too long. We went to the basement next. The floor sounded hollow under our feet, like something was underneath. And that's where we saw it. A huge pentagram, painted across the floor. Thick, uneven lines, like someone did it in a hurry or with shaking hands. We laughed it off, pretended it didn't bother us, but nobody suggested staying down there. We just left. We headed back upstairs to look for the roof access. Somewhere along the way, we found a classroom with one clean white wall, untouched. Frank and I lit up. A blank canvas. We unpacked our cans and got to work, while Freddie and Yuri went off to find the roof. After about 15 minutes, I stepped into the hallway to admire some of the older graffiti. The building was so still that I could hear my own breathing echo. Then Frank shouted, not scared, angry. He thought I took his bag. He swore I was messing with him. But I hadn't moved. We looked everywhere. The bag was gone. And that's when the tone changed. Not out loud, not with words, but we both felt it. Someone was in there with us. We left the room and started searching for Yuri and Freddie. We wandered up, then across, then back down another hallway. The school felt like it was twisting while we walked, every hallway looking the same, every corner repeating. Then I stepped into a side room and just stopped. Another pentagram, but this one was fresh, wet, dripping, red, not paint, and in the corner was Frank's bag, neatly placed, like someone had set it there and waited. Frank grabbed it quietly, but I could see his hand trembling. He whispered, "This isn't funny anymore." Before I could answer, footsteps, fast. Yuri and Freddy tore around the corner, wild-eyed, breathless, motioning frantically. We ran. No questions, no hesitation. Just running. As we ran, I heard something, multiple footsteps behind us. Too many. Soft. Bare. Not shoes. We tried to find the exit. But the school was a maze, hallways looping into each other, stairwells leading nowhere. We stopped to breathe in a corner. Yuri's hands were shaking. Freddy's face was pale. They finally told us what they had seen. They had heard something metallic clicking, like marbles rolling on tile. They followed the sound into a room. And inside were 3 people, sitting in a circle, hoods up, faces hidden, their hands moving slowly across the floor, sorting small stones or beads. And all of them stopped moving the second Freddy stepped inside. Not gradually, all at once. They didn't speak. They didn't yell. They simply stood up, in perfect sync, and started walking toward them. We didn't have time to process that because suddenly, from down the hallway in front of us, we heard it. A hissing sound. Not like a cat. Not like steam. Like a human voice trying to imitate both. We froze. Then a voice followed, deep, too close, too calm. I should have cut you when I had the chance. We didn't look. We didn't breathe. We ran like our lives depended on it, because they did. They chased us. We heard them, the bare feet slapping tile, the hissing, the breathing. At one point, I swear I felt fingers graze the back of my shirt. But then, somehow, Yuri turned a corner and there it was, the door we came in from. We crashed through the fence, ran into the street, didn't stop until the car was moving. No one spoke for almost 10 minutes. Just breathing, shaking, crying. We never went back. We never talked about it again. And last I heard, that building is still there, waiting.